Have you fallen into an open manhole recently? Do you find yourself in the company of strangers? Well, then you might very well be in the feature Underground. As far as I know, my name is Hunter Lanier, and I am here today yet again with another review from Fantastic Fest, where I am on the ground in Austin, Texas. This time it is a Spanish movie that will be distributed by Neon. The film is called Sirât and is directed by Óliver Laxe. I have only seen 3 movies so far at Fantastic Fest, but Sirât is the best of them, and I think is one of the best movies I have seen all year. Sirât is a really fascinating movie because it brings to mind so many disparate influences. However, the one that rises to the surface is The Wages of Fear, because I was not expecting this movie to be the grandson of The Wages of Fear and the son of Sorcerer. I was not expecting this Spanish movie that came out of nowhere to be the next in that royal bloodline. But here it is, and it's great. Obviously, it's not a remake of The Wages of Fear like Sorcerer was, but it has that same structure of trying to drive flimsy vehicles from one place to another on unforgiving terrain. And the tension is taut. The reason for the voyage is simple. A father and a son are trying to find the missing third member of their family, the daughter. The only lead they have is that she has gone to a rave, but they don't know which rave. And when we first meet them, they are at a rave in the middle of the desert, which is soon dispersed by some ambiguous military force. Although the daughter isn't there, they find out that some of the members of the rave are going to another rave, so the father and son follow them. As the father and son follow this caravan of career ravers with their clunky RVs, their tattoos, their piercings, their missing limbs, they're almost like a band of carnies. The father and son start to form a bond with these people, and vice versa. This is especially true for the son, who finds a lot to like in this freewheeling gypsy lifestyle. I won't spoil where the film goes from there, of course, but I will say that the film has many surprises, and the director, Óliver Laxe, is really good at hitting you with them on the offbeat. When you've seen enough movies, you start to subconsciously get the rhythm of tension down. And so do directors, which is why that same rhythm of tension is used over and over again. I just saw Shelby Oaks after Sirât, and that is a movie with a very predictable rhythm of tension. I'll be reviewing that movie next. Sirât, however, like I said, shocks you by getting you in between the beats. It knows when you think it's going to do something, and then it double outthinks you and hits you with something a little bit faster, or takes an extra step and catches you off guard. Great boxers do this with their punching, and they will also establish a rhythm to lure their opponent into it, and then intentionally disrupt that rhythm later on to catch their opponent off guard. And Sirât does this very same thing. It does not end the movie that it begins as. Now, while the film gets a lot of its tension from that Sorcerer-esque vehicular peril, that is largely where the comparisons end. Sirât has much more heart, especially between the father and his son. While there is very little dialogue between them, that is testament to their closeness. Not much needs to be said when you know someone deeply. And those aren't just pretty words either. You get the feeling of warmth from the two performances that are very natural. To give them credit, the father is played by Sergi Lopez and the son is played by Bruno Nunez. There is also something deeply spiritual about the movie. Its first impression is with this rave happening in the middle of the desert. And it's such a stark, eerie image. You have this endless, harsh landscape of orange rock and sand, almost godless in its complete lack of greenery or life. And then in the middle of it all, you have these speakers and hundreds of people dancing to this thumping electronic music. And they're dancing in this very loose, puppet-like way. Notably as individuals. They're not dancing together. They're all dancing apart together. There's an alienness to the whole thing. It's like aliens dancing on the moon. But the fact that the movie opens with this, and that this is the movie's first impression, it feels like you're being welcomed into an underworld with some strange ritual. And the rest of the movie confirms this feeling in many interesting ways. Combined with the objective of a father and son trying to find their daughter and sister by going deeper and deeper into this desert, it almost gives the story a mythological patina, like Orpheus going into the underworld to find Eurydice. I also want to bring up the casting in this movie. I already mentioned how great the father and son are, but the actors who play the caravan of ravers that they tag along with, there's no way you could convince me they are working actors who hang out at Starbucks and sip lattes while they practice lines. They just have such authentic faces and bodies and looks that it looks like they fell out of a 1930s carnival poster. Oh, and I almost forgot. While they were introducing Sirât, they brought up the fact that Sirât, when it debuted at the Cannes Film Festival earlier this year, it won the Best Soundtrack Award. I just did a review of Fritz Lang's M that is on the channel. You should go watch it. And in that movie, I talk about how it uses sound design to move the story forward as a storytelling device rather than an accent. Sirât doesn't do that, but it does move the sound design forward into the overall movie mix. There is almost a physicality to the sound in Sirât. Like you can feel the wood squeaking against wood and the metal clashing against the rock. As for the rave music itself, not for me. Well, those are my quick thoughts on Sirât. Now is the time for you to let me know your thoughts on my thoughts. I only just saw the movie yesterday, but the more it bounces around in my head, the more I think highly of it. This really is one of the best movies I've seen all year. I really think you should seek this one out when it releases. I believe it releases in November. I'm assuming it's going to be a limited release. I don't see this as being a broadly appealing movie, but keep an eye out for it. In the next video, I will be reviewing Shelby Oaks. I'm going to record that right after this one. So, but I'll probably release it a little later in the day just to spread them out a little bit. So look forward to that one. And until then, as always, I remind you that every day underground is a good day.